You were featured in another Sky News Australia Lefties Are Losing It segment? No way. This dude. Wait, what did Sky News Australia post me on? Oh, I love that. I love when Sky News Australia posts me. I love when I make it to the most honest and the most objective name in news. Sky News Australia.
It's time for Lefties.
Lefties losing it. Oh, Lefties losing it. Oh, they posted... Yo, let's go. Left media continues to push Trump lies. By the way, Sky News Australia is like Fox News on steroids, ironically owned by the same guy that owns Fox News, for the record, Rupert Murdoch, who is Australian, and this is his like main channel. This is Australian Fox News. So if you see like American libtards, American liberals who claim to be like progressive or whatever, championing this video, which they will because they're stupid and they have no principles, they have no perspectives whatsoever, they have no interest in learning the truth, they will use this truly, utterly depraved, evil channel as a way to be like, see, even Australian Sky News knows the truth about Hasan. And let me tell you, it's because they're stupid. But I, on the other hand, welcome the hatred from Sky News Australia. Let's go. Ooh, this is exciting. I didn't even realize they were doing it. The lefties losing it.
Before you go, I want to get your opinion on this remarkable New York Times fluff piece that they've done on a character called Hassan Piker, a character they describe as a progressive mind in a MAGA body, because he works out. Apparently that makes him a MAGA body, but he's as bad as MAGA as I'm blonde. What he is, Josh, is virulent.
Remember, they are mad because they like MAGA, okay? Something that, because when you first see this, you're like, when you first see this, they're Australian. You don't understand. This is Sky News. You think maybe it's objective. No, remember, this is like Australian Fox News. So she's mad because the New York Times is doing a puff piece on a terrorist, myself, a fawning puff piece on a terrorist, and she's mad because MAGA is a good thing and they're comparing me to a good thing, and that's what's fucked up.
Anti-Israel.
Any kind of Zionist tendency should be treated in the same way as being a rabid neo-Nazi, and you shouldn't even let someone be the local dog catcher as Felix was posting if they've ever exhibited any sort of like positive feelings about the state of Israel. I'm so serious about this. Yeah. I mean, yeah. What's the problem? Yeah. If you are pro-Israel, okay, and you're a politician and you're pro-Israel, then yeah, it's no different to me than being pro-Nazi Germany or pro-apartheid South Africa. What's the problem? What, you got an issue with that? What's the difference? Yeah, no, I love when they post things that I actually do mean rather than post out of context, because it triggers the autism in my brain where I'm like, no, you don't understand. You're misunderstanding me. It annoys me to no end. If you post, like when Fox News wrote that article about me, if you remember, when they were like, Hasan wants 9/11 to happen, I was annoyed because that's not what my statement was at all. But in that article, they also post some of the things that I say all the time and are objectively correct. Like when they posted about how I had said that like Israel is a far more evil entity than Hamas ever could be. When you post that and you get mad about that or whatever, I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? Like that's okay, because that is my statement and it's also objectively true. Like try to address the argument instead of complaining about it, you know? But I hate it when they clip chimp and then they go, oh my God, like he said he loves when Palestinians are doing mass rapes or some shit. It's like, no, I never said that. You're a freak. Anyway, awesome.
Josh, he has a hugely popular show on Twitch where he unashamedly praises Houthi, spreads all sorts of Hamas propaganda. And now he's getting fluff pieces in the New York Times. What is going on?
Is the New York Times pro-Hamas? Is the New York Times pro-Hamas? What's going on? Why are they pro-Hamas? Hassan Piker of Twitch. He's a lover of Houthis. He's a lover of Hamas. Oh, this is so awesome. Australia is such a fake country. I'm sorry that, like, when she's trying to be serious, it's impossible to take them seriously with that. Like that lady sounds like that. and she's trying to be, dignified and serious and talk about the severity of the crisis at hand. You know what I mean? Also, this is pretty cool too. They just keep posting sexy ass photos of me. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Look at this. Look at this sexy terrorist. He loves Hamas. He's hot. He's a hot dude. Stupid and sexy and pro-Hamas. Oh, awesome. Oh, I love this.
Well, I think what's going on is exactly what it looks like, which is that someone who has literally made a name for himself as an apologist for Hamas, Houthis, Hezbollah, various other U.S. recognized foreign terrorist organizations. I mean, this is the guy who is now getting, the page A1 full spread treatment from the New York Times, an organization. He's
like, why won't they write about me? I don't like it. Can you sue them for slander? What? Why would I do that? What are you talking about, dude? People being like, oh, I can't believe he's doing apologia for Hamas. Okay, dude. Yeah, sure. Who cares? Suck my dick. Ironically enough, I don't make any apologies for Hamas. I do actually call out things that I think are violent, things that I believe are atrocious. As a matter of fact, significantly more than pro-Israel people do on their side. I also do understand who the real villains are in this story. And that is and always will be Israel until they abolish the apartheid, of course, until they end the occupation.
And that was probably best known for burying coverage of the Holocaust back towards the back of the paper for 3, 4, 5 years during World War II. The New York Times has a long and deeply inglorious track record.
I would say that the New York Times, first of all, burying the coverage of the Holocaust for 5 years is crazy during World War II. Like, I don't know if they were, that tuned in to the death camps that were taking place. But there is a live streamed Holocaust happening right now, and they do unironically bury the coverage of the live streamed Holocaust. So yeah, it's, if anything, in the argument that you're presenting, New York Times being consistent. They're like, we don't care. As long as it's state-sponsored violence, like, we're on board with it. And we will do our very best to defend it. Barry Weiss, peace on you. He also calls Jews inbred, says doesn't matter if rape occurred on October 7th, and argues that Zionists should be treated like neo-Nazis. Essential by rights coded FP. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, here we go. Crosshairs are back on me, baby. Let's go. Playing the hits. It's funny how the New York Times is a problem to them now that you're on it. No, they love shitting on the New York Times. They don't think New York Times is pro-Israel enough, which is crazy. I do want to read this. The handsome face of terror apologia. That's awesome. Once again, proving what I said, which is all of my haters can pick apart every single thing, but then they still call me handsome. What is this? What is this? What is going on, bro? Hasan Piker has been called a model for the future of progressive media. He also calls Jews inbred and says Zionists should be treated like neo-Nazis. On Sunday, the New York Times ran a balancing profile on an online influencer who's made millions telling Gen Z that socialism rocks. His name is HasanAbi Piker, and he has 2.8 million followers on the live stream platform Twitch, where he broadcasts live from his West Hollywood home for 8 hours every day, commenting on everything from the latest Supreme Court ruling to his workout regimen. The Times headline initially described him as a progressive mind and a MAGA body. It later changed to a progressive mind and a body made for the manosphere, and spilled much ink analyzing his sex appeal. A lot of people, I think, also are forgetting that the article was on the style section. Buried in the prose, the passing acknowledgement of a far darker side of Hasan Piker's appeal. His diatribes against the Zionist movement have led many supporters of Israel to call Mr. Piker anti-Semitic, the Times observes. And then it quotes Piker's response to his allegation. I find the conflation of anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism to be very dangerous. Before moving swiftly onto Piker's use of expletives and vulgarities. What exactly are Piker's diatribes against the Zionist movement? The glowing Times profile doesn't say. Perhaps readers will conclude he's simply fierce in his criticism of the current Israeli government. I am. That is not at all the case, because Piker records up to 10 hours a day and has done so for 5 years. It's hard to paint a comprehensive picture of his views, but even a cursory look at his work reveals a person who dismisses violence against Israelis, celebrates Islamist terrorists, and advocates for treating pro-Israel Americans as neo-Nazis. Doesn't matter if rapes happened on October 7th, Piker said, while live streaming. It doesn't change the dynamic for me. Apparently, not even the most brutal, inhumane crimes committed during Hamas' October 7th invasion of Israel could justify the Israeli military response, which he repeatedly refers to as an ethnic cleansing campaign. Oh, that's awesome. They accidentally also showcased the framework. It's out of context, but they also, in their endless desire to present me as someone who is against Israel's ethnic cleansing campaign, have accidentally added on the actual point that I was making, which is that even if there were rapes that took place on October 7, this does not justify genocide against the entirety of the Palestinian population. That is a perfectly normal take. Just this week, he claimed on Twitch that in a totally just world, regardless of your background, any kind of fucking Zionist tendency should be treated in the same way as being a rabid neo-Nazi. The vast majority of Jews identify as Zionists. He went on, you shouldn't even let someone be a local dog catcher if they have exhibited any sort of... Okay, first of all, I gave credit to Felix, friend of the show, Felix Biederman, for this. I feel like it's fucked up that they took that context out because I didn't come up with that, okay? I did not come up with that. Felix did, which I was giving credit to, and it's kind of messed up that you're taking away his credit. That's really fucked up, Barry. Don't do that. If they have exhibited any sort of positive feelings for the state of Israel. At the same time, Piker implies that acts of violence committed by Islamists are justified. On November 29, 2023, he described the attacks of October 7 as a retaliation for an ongoing apartheid. Again, thank you for posting that, because it is correct. It is a retaliation for the ongoing apartheid. That is precisely what happened here. Piker doesn't only justify terrorism, sometimes he glorifies it. On December 20th, Piker played a Hamas propaganda video on his live stream audience of 25,000. In it, dramatic music plays a member of terrorist group Forge and Demo Guns. Title card reads, "We will continue to kill your soldiers by our locally manufactured snipers." Piker reads it out loud and then says, "Wow, there's a little message for the Americans out there as well." On January 2024, Houthi pirates seized a commercial ship in the Red Sea and took the crew hostage. Among the rebels was a 19... That's not true! This is fake. Rashid al-Haddad was not one of the rebels that overtook the commercial ship in the Red Sea. This is again, incredibly annoying. Why is it incredibly annoying? Because I don't mind interviewing a Houthi rebel, okay? I would interview a Houthi rebel, but he's not. So I hate that these guys always say he's a Houthi guy. He's a Houthi rebel. And it's not like no real outlet has referred to Rashid al-Haddad, whose last name is al-Haddad, not al-Houthi, by the way. Important. Most likely Sunni and not a Zaidi Shia regardless. Again, not a part of the Houthi family, not a part of the al-Houthi family, and not a part of the Ansar Allah militancy regardless. But even if he was, I would still interview him. I thought he was initially. Not even Fox News has actually called him a Houthi, for the record. Al-Haddad later denied affiliation with the Houthis. Piker tracked down Al-Haddad via social media and interviewed on a stream with the help of a translator. In the interview, Piker compared Al-Haddad to a pirate hero. On September 28, 2024, Piker shared what he called a music video, which was actually Houthi propaganda clip. In it, this is another instance where it's like, I don't mind showing these music videos. I've shown these music videos. I've shown music videos of all forms of militancy. We've literally looked at ISIS videos as well on this broadcast. It's now become a problem, so I can't do it, but it's the only website. This is the only website where they have a rigorous application of the terms of service. I do not have a issue looking at this music video, okay? I don't. I look at the American military's music videos all the time. It's all right. You can make fun of music videos that like actual terror groups, not even like resistance against Israel. I'm talking, yes, and you support ISIS? No, I don't. That's my point. I don't support the American militancy either. That's the whole point. I don't support Al-Qaeda. I don't support ISIS. I don't support the Assad regime, but you know, Allah Surya Assad is a what used to be a prominent fixture, right? On September 28, 2024, Piker shared what he called a music video, which was actually a Houthi propaganda clip. In it, gun-toting Islamists sing a rallying cry to defeat the masses of infidels. They march over a burning American and Israeli flags and wave banners and blazon the Houthi credo, which translates to God is great, death to America, death to Israel, damn the Jews, victory to Islam. When the beat drops, it's like jihad drops in your heart, Piker said to an audience. Wait, why would they post that in all sincerity? Dude, damn, that was fucking, I was funny as shit, dude. Sometimes I'm really funny, okay? I impress myself. Piker is stratospherically popular among Gen Z. The year that Hamas invaded Israel... Hamas invaded Israel. Piker was the fourth most watched American on Twitch, where 41% of users are between 16 and 24 years old. But his influence reaches far beyond the platform. Many of his live streams are clipped, recut, and soared to virality on other social media platforms, including YouTube, TikTok, and X. Where the Times gets it right is an assertion that the 33-year-old influencer is perceived as a savior of American progressivism. In an era where Democrats seem at a loss to counter the bro-y populism of the MAGA right, Piker used MAGA-coded activities of weightlifting and trips to the gun range. Ugh, I hate that. It is not MAGA-coded. Ugh! To make socialist politics hip, courting an audience of young and very online men who have been drifting right. Yeah, God forbid I do that. God forbid I pull young men away from the reactionary right-wing attitudes. Oh, man. Oh, man, how devastating. Remember, the Free Press is a right-wing institution. So, of course, when you read this, when you read that, you go, what's the problem there? When the Free Press audience reads that, they go, oh, my God, that's really up. We got to stop this guy. So remember, the things that you consider to be good and I consider to be good, they consider to be bad. The AOC of Twitch, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, being one of the only other Democrats to successfully wield social media and a model for the future of progressive media. In the past year alone, he's appeared on the DNC, as well as the left's favorite podcast, Pod Save America, and the tourist Senator Bernie Sanders and AOC herself. He's also done an interview with Jon Stewart for The Daily Show, set to release in mid-May. That's not true. I didn't do an interview with Jon Stewart. What? They posted this? No, I didn't. God, these guys are so, like, this is such a bad, God, they are so bad at journalism. How bad. I never said I'm getting interviewed by Jon Stewart. It's Jordan Klepper. Why don't you just post my post with Jordan Klepper? Why are you, oh, God. Oh, it's such bad journalism. Who wrote this garbage? They shouldn't have a job. I mean, I don't care. I love it. He is part of this push to brainwash America's young people into thinking the enemies of democracy are actually our friends, Wu said. If you're asking yourself who's talking to your children on the left, it's Hasan and Hasan's orbiters, which is fairly terrifying. In Piker's Reddit community, fans admit that Hasan has radicalized them, brag about convincing family members that Israel's committing a genocide in Gaza. Why? This is a puff piece that is unironically better than the New York Times' puff piece. Because the New York Times cannot openly say the things that I'm saying because their editorial team's position is different. So they have to say Hasan Piker accuses Israel of doing a genocide. These guys will posterize my dubs actively because they know that their audience already has that mentality. It's the same with Fox News. Let me get apolitical real quick. Piker himself is aware of his influence on young people. In November, he posted a news article that rise in pro-Hamas sentiment among Jewish American teenagers in his Discord server with the comments, I did this. Oh, I thought I actually posted this on Twitter. 1/3 of Jewish American teens say they sympathize with Hamas. Israeli government poll shows. Twitch legitimized Piker, and now the mainstream media is celebrating him. Yesterday, I reached out to Representative Torres to ask him whether he'd seen the recent profile. He replied with a blistering assessment. The mainstream media's lionization of Hasan Piker exposes just how deeply anti-Semitism is permeated in American culture, Torres said. You could deny the rapes and sexual violence of October 7th and still receive a flattering profile from the New York Times celebrating your iron-pumping masculinity. But amid all the descriptions of Piker's attractiveness and all the photos that back it up, the Times let something small yet grimly revealing slip into its profile of the streamer. One of the images shows Piker's monitor during his live streams. If you zoom in, you can see a comment from a Twitch user referring to an Israeli Defense Force soldier. I'd f this IDF bitch up to death and make his mother shove missiles up her ass. The Times has since updated the photo with the comment cropped out of the picture. Piker did not respond to a request for comment. First of all, they never gave me a request for comment. I didn't see it. I would have probably not commented. But yeah, you know what's ironic about this, by the way? This is like the thing that they try to make a big deal about. This person insta-clapped. Like, this is yet another great example of how fast our moderation is. Yes, I have a follower limit of usually 10 minutes. If you follow me for 10 minutes, you can speak in this chat. The reason why I do that is because unlike the Free Press from Bovine Berry, I actually do believe in open discourse, okay? Not only has this account been suspended and deactivated or banned off the platform in general, but we banned him instantly. That was their first and only message, and they instantly got banned. You understand? That type of sentiment is completely not allowed. This is another push from like all of the ridiculous like Zionist publications that will do everything they can to just be like, you know, Hasan is anti-Semitic, Hasan is anti-Semitic, Hasan is anti-Semitic. Please get him banned. Please get him banned. Please get him banned. It happens. The reason why it happens is because whenever this kind of profile happens in a place like the New York Times, like these guys will go up in arms, but ultimately it doesn't matter. And the reason why it doesn't matter is because these aren't like serious newspapers. It's the same principle behind like Richie Torres is the only guy that they can get motion out of because Richie Torres is an unserious person. Everybody understands that Richie Torres is an unserious person. Do you know what I mean? This is no different than the previous hit pieces that have been written in a bunch of these other places, or even Fox News. Like Fox News is the only real legacy publisher they've been able to get motion with, but it doesn't matter. It like literally, I see it as praise. When Sky News talks about how scary I am and says like, this guy hates Israel. How dare he? I see this as praise. I see this as free PR because, yeah, I do hate the apartheid state of Israel. I hate apartheid. I hate genocide. Every human being with a brain and a moral compass should also feel the same way. It is actually more damning that you still, at this stage, continue to defend an apartheid state currently doing a genocide. So, sucks to suck. Yeah, I do. Yeah, Israel, free Palestine is correct. I don't give a shit.
When it comes to these particular issues. This particular individual, Hassan Piker, is so toxic that after AOC, of all people, went on his show one point last year, she kind of did a quasi mea culpa when she was asked about it. She was like, oh, I didn't know his views were actually that radical. So
what do you mean? I've literally collaborated with AOC multiple times since then. These are not radical views, bitch. These are literally the Democratic majority views, okay? Not only is it that 80% of the Democratic Party's base believes that Israel needs to stop doing a genocide, but also on top of that, there is a majority unfavorability against Israel right now by all Americans, in spite of the unlimited amount of propaganda that tries to justify Israel's incredibly violent actions. The majority of American Jews also agree with this. So you can't look. You can't put the toothpaste back in the fucking tube. You can try. You can keep yelling at people who speak out against this consistently, but the truth will not change. The reality will not change. And people's perception of Israel is understandably forever scarred. Scarred by what, mind you? Scarred by the truth. Because people actually started recognizing what the Israel was doing. That's it. That's it. You can keep crying all day, every day. You can jail me. You can try to get me banned from platforms. You can try to silence me. But you can't change the truth. I go away, there's going to be another person out there, okay? I go away, there's going to be another person that also takes up the mantle, because I'm not individually able to hypnotize tens of thousands of people. I don't have like a special charisma power to be able to melt the minds of the youth, okay? All I'm doing is showing the truth. That's it. And you can't stop the truth. You can try to silence it as best as you can. You can try to silence the opposition to the best of your ability. But ultimately, this is not just one person's doing. I am not foolish enough to assume that it is actually my awesome power that has been able to fucking convince so many people. That's it. But that's what's so funny about this entire process is that, like, people, it's ironic. It's ironic when people turn around and talk about like how hot I am in a way to try and figure out like, what's the reason why this guy is able to penetrate the consciousness of so many young men at a time when it seems like the Democratic Party has completely lost their power. They lost their motion. They lost their juice. Oh, it must be because he's hot. It must be because he works out. And it's like, no. Those are things that I organically care about. Those are things that I want my audience to do as well, for sure. But that's not the reason why I've been able to reach this level of success. The reason why I've been able to reach this level of success is because there are a lot of people like yourselves in this chat that go, oh my God, there's another person that feels the way that I do. Finally, someone is voicing the concerns that I've had. This makes a lot more sense. It's not because I'm attractive, okay? Yes, that plays a role in this, for sure. It's not because I work out. It's because I'm saying how many of you feel. That's it. It's that simple.